Coach Shermer's offense. But it's been, that's always kind of exciting for me. I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of kind of learning a different way to approach things, different way to read coverages, different way to read plays. And so that's, you never like a change, but when it does happen, I kind of go all in and learn his way and do it exactly the way he wants it done. And, we have some talent. We have a lot of talent, a lot of skilled guys on this team with Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard and obviously Saquon coming into the mix. But, and once Odell gets back healthy, that's even going to help out that much more. So it's been a good 5 weeks. And I'm excited. We get a little break right now, but excited for the start of training camp. I think I'm the only one who's excited about training camp. I went to sports camp when I was 10 years old. I get to still go to sports camp at 37 years old. It's not a bad gig. So I'm looking forward to that next month.
I thought you were working on your Dancing with Odell. How is that coming along?
Well, obviously, that Super Bowl dance. That was, when they kind of the NFL pitched that idea to me, it didn't go very smoothly. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, I've seen that movie. I've seen Dirty Dancing. It's a very intimate, dance. It's like there's a lot of touching going on. I'm like, I just don't think that's a good idea. And then they said, well, the very end of it's going to be, kind of more touchdowns to come. I said, well, I like that. I like the idea of Odell and I, scoring more touchdowns next year. And they said, also, you'll be doing most of the dancing. It's mostly just you solo. I'm like, oh, perfect. That's really the strength. Did you have to practice though?
Yeah,
were you
like, no problem?
No, I had to practice. I kind of said, hey, once I said I'm going to do this, I said if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. We're going to go all out and make it good. I think it can be funny if it's looks somewhat good, not just terrible. But so I practiced a little bit, and I knew the fact that I asked if I could bring in some my offensive linemen to be my backup dancers. I knew that way they couldn't make fun of me that much. They're kind of part of it also, and they're always looking for some airtime. So it worked out well.
The coach. Obviously a big change, small change, and what's the one thing that maybe we don't know about him that you'd like to share with us?
I've enjoyed Coach Shermer, and I met him last year. His son's a quarterback in Vanderbilt. He came down to our passing academy we do every year, and so Pat, Coach Shermer came along with him, and just kind of out of the blue, he was around and enjoyed being with them then and talking football and hanging out. And 6 months later, he's my head coach. So that's kind of the way it works. But I've enjoyed. He's just he tries to keep things simple. Football can get complicated. He says, hey, don't overthink. I don't want you up there and trying to make everything perfect. You worry about the plays and your reads and what you got to do, and those guys will figure it out up front, and just trying to simplify the game as much as possible. And so I've enjoyed that aspect, not trying to be perfect with everything, get to the perfect play and perfect check, and just drop back and throw the football and just do my job.
You look, I gotta tell you, you look phenomenal. Like, because people always are painting you like he's old, he's this, he's that, but how hard are you working on your conditioning? What does that look like to stay in this kind of shape?
Yeah, it's just, I guess early on in my career, after the season, I would probably take a month off, and I don't do that anymore. I can't afford to take a month off anymore, and so it's just become kind of a year-round deal. I don't think about it. You just try to eat healthy. You work out, throughout the whole year, and just have my routines that I stick with, and it seems to be working. Just work a lot on flexibility. Still lift weights. I'm not, I don't lift as much weights as I used to, but just kind of, but just try to be smart with it, and a lot of core stuff, a lot of endurance stuff, and just but I enjoy all that stuff. I enjoy that aspect of it, and getting in the weight room and doing everything it takes just to feel good, on the practice field. And I can tell once you're out there and you're practicing and you don't get sore and your joints all feel good, that the work is worth it.
So you're working out 365.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I really, I don't work out every single day, but it's part of the working out. You got to recover. But we'll take some trips. I mean, I'll work out. I just if I go 2 or 3 days without doing something, I get a little antsy, and my wife can tell, and she'll say, all right, go get go do something, go get your workout in, go get a sweat, I'll feel guilty, or just I don't know. I've been doing it for so long, it just. I've been, since I was 18 years old, I've kind of, had to work out, and it's just become the routine.
You've always been such a good guy. I was thinking about, like, you are kind of a goody-goody.
Well, thank you. I guess. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I don't know.
No, it is. I mean, I was trying to think
goody,
like there's something
goody two-shoes, right?
But is there another side to you at all, or?
You don't want to see that side, Brandon. No, I mean, I don't know. I think. There was a wild side probably at one point a long time ago, but it's just now.
It's more the pranks. You're a prankster, though.
Well, if I don't look for them, I blame the people. If I do a prank on you, it's your fault. You did something that kind of like it was so easy. It was like a layup. I couldn't resist. So.
I've heard things like, putting people's cell phones in Chinese.
Yeah, that's just an easy one, So that's like anytime someone's like, hey, can you take a picture of me? And, one time a guy asked me, he's like, can you take a picture of, it's with Peyton. He's like, hey, can you take a picture of me and Peyton? I'm like, yeah, I can, give me your phone, and it's in Chinese 5 seconds later. I took the picture, I hand it back. He puts it in his pocket. It's like 3 hours later. He's like, what in the world? He can't figure it out. So that's just
picture
it's his fault.
I remember you telling me the
his
picture
fault.
of the guy and his girlfriend you sent to the coach, or instead of.
No, when I used to change.
Change, right.
I would change, like, I would get a guy. If a guy gave me his phone, a buddy, I would. Or a teammate, I would change. I'd find his wife's number or his girlfriend's number, and I would always know Coach Coughlin's number, so I'd just switch it. I put Coach Coughlin's number as his girlfriend under his girlfriend's name in his phone book. So all of a sudden he's sitting Coach Cutts. I'm like, text. I think some weird things got sent, so I had to stop doing that. It ended badly, but
I like that.
You learn your lessons. You learn a few things. Some mistakes, some are funny.
Odell Beckham, obviously a lot of attention on him. Have you guys your relationship? I mean, can he be an integral part of this offense going forward? And how healthy does he look?
Yeah, he looks healthy. I think he was here for some of the OTAs. He couldn't do a whole lot, but he was here for this mini camp this week. Finally got to start. He was allowed to run routes on air with us, and I think he probably could have done more. It's just why put him out there and have someone follow him or whatever and risk injury. But got to throw routes with them. We stayed after each day and threw extra routes. Because routes on air, that one period is like 6 minutes. I said we need we got to throw more. We throw 6 routes in that much time. So I said let's stay after these days and we'll throw 20 routes or something. And so he looks great. He looks sharp. And it was just good to hear him the terminology and run some of the routes. So when he does come back for training camp, he's ready to go. And he's such a playmaker. He's and you add him to the mix of the other guys who have been doing well. He's brought in some new guys, and Cody Latimer and Hunter Sharp and Roger Lewis, those guys who are kind of fighting for that third spot. And it's going to be an explosive offense. I think we'll be able to make the big plays. It just, we got to be able to make the smart plays and make the little 4 and 5 yard gains. But we'll be able to make those exciting big plays. You just got to be able to make the, kind of little plays also.
And stop their big plays. Is Odell still one of your favorite practice players? I remember you telling me. I think people don't realize how hard a practice player he is.
No, he's a great practice player. Just, obviously he's great in the games also, but it's because his practices are like the games. I mean, it is full speed, it is full throttle. I've had guys where who practice, and all of a sudden in practice, they're running a go route. And you're kind of you're throwing it, 90%. And all of a sudden, game day, you got to throw it 100% to kind of get there. Odell, it's the same in practice as it is in the game. And he catches a slant. Hey, he's making a guy miss. He's running 80 yards. And, he just goes and goes, and he practices hard and knows what to do and wants to do extra routes. And whether it's a live drill or just kind of running routes on air, and he's going full throttle, and it's fun. That's contagious. You know, these young guys, they see that, young receivers see that, and they think, you know, this is how it's supposed to do. You know, this is how you're supposed to do it, and you know, and you end up getting great practice guys, and that shows up on game day.
By the way, are you a Yankee fan? And what do you think about
Yeah.
this team? You've been following it?
Oh yeah, you know, they've been playing great. Have been playing great. It's been fun to watch. You know, they've been hot. So yeah, I mean, I'm not from this area originally, but kind of adopted the Yankees and keep up with all the kind of the New York sports teams. But definitely a Yankee game. Been to a bunch of games over my time here, and been to some great ones, and it's been fun.
Do a little Q&A. Open it up for you guys if you want to ask Eli something. I can always jump in with a million questions. I don't know. As many times as I see him, I feel like I can talk to him forever because I get a little insight. Then I sound intelligent at the games. Yeah.
Yeah, Saquon is you know, he's an impressive kid. You know, you see him and he's you know, he looks the part, and then you see him on the practice field, and it's the same way. And but really just been really impressed with just you know, from the first day we were out on practice, he'd been there a week, and also that first practice, I mean, he knew his assignments, he knew his routes, he knew his protections, he was picking up things, and there's always little mistakes here and there, but it's kind of like he hadn't made the same mistake twice, which you like to see. And you know, part of that just learn. We're all kind of learning this offense together, and it's but it's just been impressive with the mentally, just his attitude, the way he's handled the media. The whole situation is not too big for him, and I think that's a good thing. I think he's going to be a tremendous player, and I love be able to hand it off to a guy and let him run 60 yards. Yeah, I'll take that all day. You know, makes me look good, so I like that. Yeah, Coach McAdoo came up and told me kind of I was in the facility late on Tuesday or off day and watching film, and he said, hey, Gino's gonna play this week. I'm gonna start you, but Gino's gonna play the whole second half, so you're just playing the first half. And I was obviously very upset, and it was really kind of that next day I went up and said, hey, I just can't. I can't play one half of football. That's just not. It's not a preseason game. I've never been told, yeah, you're gonna go play, but you're not playing to win the game. I said, either you play me to win, and I stay in. If we're playing great and we're up 21 points, and all of a sudden I get pulled out of a game. I don't know. And I said, hey, if you start me, hey, if you want to pull me at some point, whatever. But I'm not doing the kind of the. I can't prepare. I can't, kind of knowing that I'm not playing to win this game, do it that way. And he said, I said, you gotta make your decision how you want to handle the rest of it. But and so that's what he said. Hey, we're just gonna start Gino. And so, it's tough. You just didn't know. You've been kind of told you're the starting quarterback in the New York Giants. You were expected to go win games with the New York Giants each and every week, and all of a sudden you're kind of told. You're not needed for that anymore. And so it was difficult. It was hard. Hard on me, hard on my wife. I think the support I got from fans, the support I got from teammates was unbelievable. That was tremendous to see and helped me out so much. I don't know if it. I don't know if it's. Surprise is the right word. I think you expect it kind of from your ex-teammates. Those are my buddies. Those are guys you won championships with and played with a long time. And those guys, you kind of always have your teammates back, I think. I guess just from so many of the fans on how the season was going and everything going on. It was just it was touching and but helped me kind of get through the moment and just say, take the high side on this. I think the thing that helped and kind of reminded me was just the fact that so many teammates, even ex-players who I didn't play with, who played for the Giants, just their kind of support and their reaction. Really reminded me, hey, I need to be a good teammate through this situation as well. And I said that that's really the most important thing. I've always taken great pride in being a good teammate, being good to all the guys on the team, being supportive during ups and downs. And this is another example to try to do that, and whether it's helping out Gino and being around and just kind of being a good teammate through it all. Thank you.
Eli, how hard was the losing though, and how do you deal with the losing? Because obviously you're not going to win all the time, but last season was tough. How do you deal with the losing? How hard was the losing?
It's hard just because you work just as hard each week. It doesn't change whether you're having to you're undefeated or you're losing games. You're having the best season. You prepare the same. You watch as much film, you practice just as hard, and you just you don't get the reward of that feeling after the game. That's kind of what you play for, is that feeling in the locker room after the game, knowing that all the work meant something, and you got to celebrate with your teammates. You got to have a great plane ride home from somewhere. You got to be at home with your family that night and feel good about everything that went on, and you don't get that kind of that reward of the hard work, and so it tests your patience and tests your commitment and those things, but you just got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it every week, just even if hey, we're not making the playoffs, hey, you can still feel good about the work you're doing, and so it does mean something. When you win the last game of a season, when it's a bad year. Just to kind of have that feeling of winning is what it's all about.
Did you learn anything from the losing though?
I mean, I think you learn something from every year that you play. Obviously, each year I think you learn, and I knew it early on, and having a dad who played 14 years in the NFL and never had a winning season. It's hard. It's hard to win football games in the NFL. It does not come easy. There's nothing guaranteed. From one year to the next, nothing is guaranteed. Which is, obviously when you won 11 games the year before, you can go and win 3 in the next year, and vice versa. Going into this year, just because last year was bad, doesn't mean we can't have an unbelievable season this year. It kind of works both ways, and it's a new year. You kind of get to start all over, and you get to kind of decide what kind of year you're gonna have. It's tough. I don't know if I never root for a team. Sometimes. I know. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's like it kind of takes me to I'm actually watching the game, and I'm not, I haven't decided who I'm rooting for, but you just kind of find yourself kind of rooting for this guy or a team. It was a tough situation. I mean, you're just, the Eagles. You're so ingrained to I don't like the Eagles. It's just 14 years just being of that, and I don't have anything against the Patriots really. I mean, I think it's vice versa. The Patriots guys don't like me more than anything. I like Tom Brady. I think he's a great guy. I've been around him. So it's kind of tough. You kind of you like to root for the NFC. For me, it's I end up kind of rooting for guys that I know more than anybody. And I don't know a whole lot of Eagles guys personally, so I don't. It was tough. I just kind of. It was a great game. I actually didn't watch the whole fourth quarter, so I don't know how I was on a plane, heading back here from the Super Bowl. So I missed it. I've watched it since, but I was just kind of just checking it out to see who wins. Second question. Patriot, yeah. Yeah.
And moving Flowers to the right, how's that going to help?
Yeah.
Right, without offensive line, Barkley can't run, can't throw.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's what our GM, Mr. Dave Gettleman, he believes. Hey, you win kind of up front, and that's an offense line, defense line, and kind of having those guys that can control the game. And I think we made some great moves. Nate Soldier at the left tackle, who's just he's just a pro. Guy knows how to prepare. Guy competes at practice. He's smart. He's been around a winning culture for a long time. Just been very impressed with him. He's such a good guy and good player, and you just trust that he's gonna be sound on that left side. Will, we drafted him. He's come in. He's already got like 6 fights. He had a big fight today, at practice. He's just a tough guy, which, Gettleman described him when he told me, he said he's cranky. I said, I like that. I like linemen that are cranky. The meaner, that's good stuff. So he'll do a good job. Working a few guys at center, which is good. Moved Patrick to right guard, who we brought in another vet guy, and then moved Eric to right tackle, and he's accepted that. He's been back this last month, been practicing with us and everything. He's doing well over there. So it's a good group, and I've always said, really our best offensive lines that we've had in our years. It wasn't like all 5 of them were making Pro Bowls. It's more just, hey, how well can y'all work together? How well can you make calls and sort things out and work out twists and everything that goes up front? It's combination blocks. It's not just, always just, hey, you beat that one person. It's a combination of all them working together. And, it's a close – you always had to have a close group knit, group of guys who get along with each other, who kind of know, when to turn it on and work, when to kind of turn it off and have fun around each other. And I think we're kind of building that nucleus with these guys, and it should be fun.
As a veteran in the league, what pieces of wisdom would you impart upon somebody coming in who would like to be a leader on a team, such as a rookie or somebody?
Yeah, I kind of told, I guess my philosophy, it's different, going from like high school to college is one jump, but you're still, when you go from high school to college, you're still kind of around the same age as everybody. Hey, you're at 18 to 21, 22 years old. Everybody's still kind of living together and doing the same things. All of a sudden, when you come to the NFL, some of these guys, they're 21 years old and they're coming to a team. And I remember when I came, all of a sudden I come to the New York Giants. I'm 22. And, you have, hey, my left tackle is married with 3 kids. Michael Strahan, he's played, 12 years, and he's, 30-something years old and on commercials. And, you're kind of with some grown men, and I'm not, you're a little kid. So for me, it was just, hey, I'm going to show up. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to get in the weight room. I'm going to be in the meeting rooms. I'm going to be early. I'm going to stay after at practice. I'm going to kind of earn the respect of my teammates, earn the right to be able to, tell a Monty Toomer who's a 10-year vet, hey, I think you got to take one more, step on that route. Hey, I come a little bit more downhill. Like, you can't just say that the first day without kind of, without proving that you know what you're doing and you've kind of put in the time. You've worked your tail off. You've taken a hit in a game and gotten up, and you got to earn the right to kind of talk to those guys and tell them. How to, what's going on. So I think a lot of it's just say, like I said, you just got to put in the work and the dedication and kind of prove that, you belong and you're going to do everything you can to win football games for them.
That's good advice.
How has your game preparation changed from when you first came into the league to now? Is it the same amount of time, the same amount of films?
Is there a lot of prayer involved now? Are you spiritual? Are you a spiritual person?
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm very spiritual and definitely. Yeah. I pray. But yeah, the preparation. It's the same. I've never said, hey, I gotta watch 3 hours of film. It's just you watch enough so you know what's going on. So I would say early on in my career, I was probably watching more because I didn't know, exactly what I was looking for. It took a lot longer to kind of see tendencies and just see, hey, this front or this alignment leads to this coverage and what exactly some of these coverages were. So, I think I still watch a ton of film every day. My off day, in there watching, from in there for 5 or 6 hours, just kind of breaking down film just to try to get a start on what they're doing. So when the coach puts in the plays, hey, all right, I know why this plays in. This plays to be good versus this coverage, and this could be something we could check to. And hey, already, meet with the offensive line coach, say, hey, how are we gonna pick up this blitz? I'm thinking I'm gonna make this call, and that should pick it up. He might have a different idea, but you start those conversations earlier in the week. So when they happen, when you go to practice on that Wednesday, you're not a day late. You're not a call behind. You kind of got it right from the get go, so you're prepared to go, and hopefully, hey, and then when it does happen in the game, you have an answer. You've thought about it. You've seen it. You know the coverage. You know you're going to have a good play. You know who should be open, so you can anticipate and be on the same page. So I think the preparation is the same. It might happen a little faster now than it used to.
I was just wondering, now that your brother Peyton has retired, has your relationship kind of changed with him? I don't know if he's been maybe bothering you more, critiquing you now you can watch.
It's just awkward just because it's just awkward. He hadn't had a job in 2 years. It's kind of, he's kind of the black sheep of the family now. We don't like to talk about it much anymore. It's kind of, got to that stage. No, he's, Peyton's been great. He's come to more games than he used to. He didn't get to, come to many games, so he'll try to make a couple of games a year, and it's about the same. We still try to kind of talk. I can usually catch him, a little bit more now. We used to talk at kind of a bunch when he was in Indianapolis. We're on the same time zone, and we sometimes talk early in the mornings, like on practice days. We're kind of, we both had like a 30-minute drive, and it's 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. You kind of call your brother, and for that drive in. I tried to do it when I was in New York. He's in Denver. It's 3 in the morning there. He wasn't real happy with me a few times. So we kind of missed, saying driving home sometimes. And so we always used to talk on Friday afternoons. That was kind of our time to talk. And so we still chat. And just kind of talk about some football. I was able to ask a few things, but not X's and O's stuff. Just he's kind of looking for more funny stories that happen in the locker room. I think that's what he misses. He kind of misses the locker room stuff that stories that are told or funny things that kind of happen training room or on plane trips and whatnot. Exactly, a little bit.
What's the best lesson your dad taught you? I mean, a lot of experience there. Both your parents, really.
Yeah, my dad. My dad was just a big on, kind of whatever you start, you finish, and you do it kind of, you don't do anything halfway. That was kind of his big deals. Whether it's schoolwork, whether he was fine. My dad, I think a lot of people assume like he had like a secret plan to make Peyton and I quarterbacks in the NFL, and nothing could be further from the truth. He just he wanted us to live our lives and have our own college football, or have our own careers and do whatever we wanted. And if we wanted to be in a play, that's fine. Hey, but you're gonna go all out, and and if you don't like it after 2 weeks, you're not quitting. You're gonna have to finish it out, and and you're gonna prepare. And if you're gonna do it, do it right. And so I remember like. I got the Ole Miss, and it's really kind of when Peyton went to Tennessee. Coach Cutcliffe told me this story. He was my head coach at Ole Miss. He was Peyton's offensive coordinator at Tennessee. So Peyton's freshman year, they invited my dad to come into a meeting and say, hey, you want to come in to the quarterback meeting? We're gonna watch film on practice. And I think Coach Cutcliffe was thinking, hey, we got a guy who played quarterback in the NFL 14 years, a great college player. He might have some insight. He might be interested in what plays we're running. He might be able to help out. 10 minutes into the meeting, my dad is passed out asleep in the back, So I think right then and there, that, Peyton kind of knew, and obviously he didn't make Coach Cut didn't make the same mistake and invite him again once he was coaching me. That my dad, he kind of did his football deal. He wanted to raise 3 boys and to be good kids, to be respectful, and just try to be nice kids, but whatever you're gonna do. Do it to the best of your ability.
You guys getting together for Father's Day though? Can you all get together? It's still at this point, or not really?
No, Father's Day is not kind of one of them. We're just all over. Peyton's in Denver. My oldest brother Cooper's down in New Orleans. We're here. So I'll call him and send him a note or something. and we kind of get together. It's hard, it's hard. We're kind of all over the place. Thanksgivings and the holidays and Christmas time.
you're a dad
We're
now.
playing football. So Mardi Gras is kind of our
Yeah.
time. We go to New Orleans. We go back home for Mardi Gras and bring all the family and enjoy the chaos. So
But you're a dad, so it's the granddad thing.
it's granddad. So I get my own Father's Day.
You get your own
Exactly.
Father's Day,
Yeah, which is
and
nice.
How has that been working out for you? And being a father, juggling all this, and any valuable lessons that you've learned now being a dad?
Yeah, it's been great. I got three little girls. They're 5, 7, and 3, and I'm loving it. I love being a dad. I love being involved with their things, and it's I kind of have two different dad seasons. During the football season, my wife's a trooper. She knows the drill. We've been dating since college, and what kind of goes on to my preparation. I miss them. I'm usually home for dinner most nights, but sometimes I miss a lot, and they're already asleep. But the off season I get to kind of make up for it and drop them off at schools and go to some of their sporting events and be a part of a lot of things, which is great. So I just try to raise them the way my dad and my parents raised me. Be supportive and kind of throw them into a lot of different events and different sports and different interests, and see if something sticks, and try to hopefully they find something they love to do that they can do the rest of their life.
Anybody? All right. You have a prediction for your record this season, just to put you on the spot?
No, I don't make predictions for records.
Just between us. We won't
Just
tell
between,
anybody.
always. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore, right? It's like off the record. No such thing. I am excited. I think you're always excited for the season, but I like this. I like this group. I like our coaching staff. They've had success where they've been. I like our playmaking abilities. I like the guys we brought in on defense. So I do like the squad, and it's just you've been a part of teams, and we won 2 championships. I didn't go into those seasons saying, hey, this is 100% for sure a Super Bowl winning team. I don't know. You got to kind of figure that out as a team, and you got to figure out, hey, are you going to be all in? Is everybody going to come together and buy into this? Are you going to be able to deal with the ups and downs and have that poise to kind of handle the ups and downs of a game, of a season? Because they're going to happen. Not everything is just smooth sailing and goes exactly the way you want it. And so you got to have those guys with great character and that commitment, and that no wavering in their commitment to the game, to the team, to the football. They're doing the right things to have that successful season.
July, a month of chilling before you got to go to real training camp in the beginning of August or end of July, or is it a month of preparation?
No, it's preparation. It's kind of we've really been kind of back at it as a team for 10 weeks. We got another 5 weeks kind of before training camp starts up. It's to keep growing and continue and stay in shape. And so I got I'll keep throwing with the teammates. I get local high school kids come run routes for me sometimes if I can't do that. And
I'll come run routes for you,
no,
man.
no one wants to see that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Is that fun for those high school kids? It's gotta be
No,
amazing.
they have a good time. So I have some of my old some other coaches coming out and working, training. So yeah, no, it's a training session.
Yeah, probably not made up for running those routes. I was always afraid to play football, but let's not tell anybody about that.
Yeah, off the record, right?
Off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few years of football, but it is a gruesome. I mean, it's amazing how you've been able to stay so consistent. That's what it's boggling, and I can see why. It's probably the off season is important as the in season.
Yeah, no doubt. All season,
Yeah.
that's kind of where you keep your weight down, keep your flexibility, keep your strength training and arm care and all those things. It's just a lot of it. With me, it's not. It's just kind of prehab is what we call it, just preventative stuff that you just. It's kind of new, just boring, stuff that takes 30 minutes. You got to do every morning, but it's what keeps you upright.
Last thing, in the locker room, been there a couple of times, but there's always like a couple posters, a mantra, a motto. Has that changed, and what will be the motto this year?
Yeah, I think each year, obviously with the coaching change, which we'll have some new ones, new different quotes, different things going on. I think from Coach Shermer's attitude is he wants this to be a gritty football team, and I think that's just a toughness, just a way to kind of grind things out. Hey, we want to throw it and we want to make those pretty plays, but you got to be able to win those tight football games in the end and run the ball and be able to be a physical, kind of mean, tough football team. And really the teams I thought that when we won championships, that was the type of team we had. It wasn't always pretty, wasn't perfect, but just never wavering and found a way just to win some games ugly.
All right. Well, good luck this year. And
Thank
thanks
you
for coming
Thank
tonight.
you. I
Thank you
appreciate
all.
it. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.